Ever since AI just exploded onto the scene, the headlines have been pretty wild, right? You see all this panic in the halls of education, all these warnings about an academic apocalypse. But is that really the whole story? Okay, let's get into it. This is the big one. It's the question that's on everyone's mind. You've got parents, teachers, students. We're all kind of wondering if these large language models are about to completely tear down everything we thought we knew about learning.
You know, the first reaction from schools was pure defense mode. I mean, we saw outright bans. Districts were scrambling to rewrite their policies. And the fear was super simple and immediate. Students could now cheat perfectly, cranking out essays and answers in seconds.
So the knee-jerk reaction was, okay, how do we outsmart the machine? Educators started trying to dream up these assignments that were so complex or so personal that an AI couldn't possibly do them. But honestly, this was just a reactive crouch, an arms race that was focused on the tools, not on the actual purpose of the work itself.
But what if? What if we're looking at this all wrong? There's this really powerful idea that completely reframes this entire debate, that AI hasn't broken education, it has exposed it. So the argument isn't that AI is some villain destroying a perfect system. No, it's that AI is a mirror, showing us the cracks that were already there all along. Which leads to the crucial question, what exactly is it exposing?
To really get what's happening, we've got to look back. See, AI is holding up a mirror to a system that's been in place for more than 100 years. And, well, the reflection isn't exactly flattering. It's revealing what some people are calling an educational scam that's been hiding in plain sight. For generations, this has basically been the gold standard of learning, content mastery. It's not about deep thinking or creativity or anything like that. It's simply about being able to repeat the correct information at exactly the right time. And why? Well, because it's easy to measure, it's easy to standardize, and it's easy to control. And this timeline, it shows us exactly how we got here. It all started with these industrial-era schools that were designed like factories, for efficiency. That evolved into what critics call the banking model, and then it got supercharged in the 2000s with this global obsession with high-stakes testing. And today, well, today an AI can do the central task of this entire system, just reproducing information, better than any human ever could. This is all part of what's known as the banking model of education. It's a really powerful metaphor that basically treats students like empty bank accounts where teachers just deposit knowledge. The goal isn't to empower students to go out and change the world, it's to train them to accept the world just as it is. It's a system built for passivity. And that passivity, it's taught through something called a hidden curriculum. So while we think we're teaching kids history or math, the system is also teaching these other lessons. It rewards playing it safe, and it punishes you for questioning authority. The real goal, as the argument goes, was never genuine learning. It was about creating compliance. So that brings us to this really stark conclusion. The problem isn't that students can use AI to cheat on their assignments. The problem is that we've been giving them assignments that aren't even worth doing in the first place. Assignments so focused on just mimicking information that a machine can ace them without breaking a sweat. And realizing that, well, it presents us with a fundamental choice. It's a collision between two totally different visions for what education could even be. It's a choice between compliance and thriving. So on one side, you have the compliance model we've been talking about. It's all about reproducing knowledge and fitting in. It works on what you'd call scarcity logic, the idea that for me to win, you have to lose. But on the other side, you have a thriving model. This is about creating new value. It's about empowering students, and it's about rewarding them for what they can actually contribute to the world. And depending on which model you're in, how you see AI completely changes. In the compliance model, AI is a threat. It's a cheat code that just makes the mimicry faster and easier. But in the thriving model, AI becomes a tool, a partner that can actually augment human creativity and free us up to do more meaningful work. Okay, so if we choose the path of thriving, what does that actually look like? How do we start building an education system that's centered on learning that truly matters? Well, it starts with a pretty practical reality. Studies are already showing that AI can be an amazing assistant for teachers, cutting way down on all that administrative grunt work, like lesson planning. A trial in the UK found it saved teachers about 31% of their time. That's huge. And that right there leads to maybe the most important question of all. If AI can handle the busy work, what do we do with all those recovered hours? The answer really is simple. We reinvest that time in the things that only humans can do: mentorship, giving deep feedback, and actually building relationships. So, how do we actually do it? Well, the source material lays out this 5-step blueprint for making the shift, for moving from a system of compliance to one based on contribution. The whole goal is to get away from assignments that just end up in a gradebook and move toward projects that have a real impact on the world.
Let's break that down. What does this mean in a classroom? Well, instead of just abstract problems from a textbook, students work with local organizations on real community needs. Instead of a final exam, they present their work to the public. And instead of just getting a final grade, they build these rich portfolios that document their entire journey of growth and discovery.
And this is the key takeaway. This new model isn't just AI-proof, it's future-proof. It focuses on the uniquely human skills, things like collaboration, civic engagement, creative problem-solving. It invests in the kind of work that was always meaningful, long before AI ever came along. So here we are at a crossroads. And this isn't just some technical challenge, it's a moral one. It's about the kind of future we actually want to build. Let's go back to that powerful metaphor for a second. AI didn't create the problems in our education system. It just shone a bright, unflinching flashlight on them, making the flaws impossible for any of us to ignore any longer. The choice in front of us, well, it couldn't be more clear. We can cling to the old model, which is just going to turn into a pointless arms race of surveillance software against bots, or we can seize this opportunity to embrace contribution and rebuild learning around work that truly matters to our communities. Because at the end of the day, this whole crisis is reminding us what education is really for. It's not about memorizing a bunch of facts that a machine can recall instantly. It's about learning how to care, how to create, and how to commit to one another. It's about mastering the profoundly human art of thriving together. And that leaves us with this one final, pretty heavy thought. Change is coming, whether we're ready for it or not. The only question is whether education will be an active architect of a better future or just a passive relic that gets left behind. The choice really is ours.